I'm about to show you the easiest way of learning English, even if you are to start from scratch. Learning English can be so challenging, especially for beginners. From tricky pronunciations to confusing grammar rules, it is very easy to feel overwhelmed. But don't worry, we have got you covered. Hey English learners, welcome to our English learning video. Today I'm so excited to share with you some easy and fast tips to help you improve English skills quickly and efficiently. Let's dive into some practical tips to make your English learning journey smoother as we go through some strategies that will help you to really improve on your English language skills. Hey guys, so we are looking at simple and practical tips for learning English for beginners. And the very first thing that you need to do, the first tip that I have to give you is to start with the basics. If you are that person who has never learned English before, or you just want to start learning English, as long as you are determined, as long as you want to learn, you're motivated to learn English, the very first thing you should do is begin with learning the basics. And what are the basics? When we talk about the basics, learn the alphabets. Learn the alphabet. Learn the basic vocabulary, such as numbers, colors, common objects. You need those vocabulary and simple grammar structure like the present tense. This is the first thing you need to learn. When you have this serves as the base for you. The second tip that you need is immerse yourself. How then do you immerse yourself? Surround yourself with English as much as possible. The best way to learn a language is to practice that language. Listen to English music, watch English movies or TV shows with suitable subtitles. Try to think in English when possible. Always try to use the English whenever you need to do that, or whenever you are available. Practice that English. Immerse yourself, surround yourself with things that are in English. You'll see that your English will improve. The next thing that is advisable for you to do, or the next tip that is advisable for you to do, is practice speaking. This is very important. We all know the saying that goes, practice makes perfect. So you need to practice speaking. Practice with people around you. Don't be afraid to speak. Practice with friends. Practice with language partners, or practice even with yourself. You can always talk with the mirror. Whatever you learned, stand in the mirror, talk to yourself in the mirror. Try to speak aloud. When you speak aloud, it helps you to get comfortable with forming sentences and pronouncing words. So, practice speaking English and you will see how your English will begin to improve. And the very next step, or the very next tip, is language apps. Things are very easy for us now. There are many language apps that we can use now. We have language apps like Duolingo, we have Babbel, or we have Memrise. These are apps that can provide structured lessons and exercises tailored to beginners. Try to download these apps. Practice the apps. Practice English with these apps, and you'll see how your English really improves. Yes, read regularly. Start with children's books. Start with children's graded readers or simplified news articles. Children who are learning English, you realize that their own books are always sounds of English, that they bring them together, how to combine sounds to form words. Read things like that. Read books like that. When you read books like that, I assure you, you will see how you begin to improve. Read even articles. There are articles that have been simplified. This will help improve your vocabulary and grammar naturally. So, always read. And the next tip that I have for you is write daily. Some people will say, have a daily journal. Write daily, keep a journal, write short stories, or even practice writing social media posts in English. Write regularly. When you write regularly, it improves your grammar and your spelling. Keep practicing. Practice to write. Don't assume that you don't know. You know. Write the little that you know. The more you write, the more you have the desire to write more, and the more you have the desire to learn more. So, always have a journal. Have a daily journal that you write every day. You see how your English will begin to improve. And the next tip that we have here is focus on your communication. Yes, the goal of learning a language is to communicate. It's not just to learn the language and keep it in your brain. You don't learn the language to keep it in your mind. You learn the language because you want to communicate. So you have to focus more on your communication skills. Don't worry too much about making mistakes. Everyone can make mistakes, especially if you're learning the language as a second language. Why won't you make mistakes? So don't worry, don't be ashamed if you're making mistakes. Know that those mistakes are there to correct you. Those mistakes are process. They are part of your learning process. So you can always make mistakes. When you make mistakes, don't bother about the mistakes. Focus on getting your message across. That is the most important thing. And you realize that when you make mistakes, people will correct you. The people you're talking with, they will correct you. They are going to give you the right words that you're supposed to use, and that is how you learn. So focus on your communication and learn grammar in context. This is another important thing. Learn grammar in context. Don't focus more on memorizing grammar rules. Memorizing the grammar rules are not really that important for you as a beginner, an English learner who is just beginning to learn. You need to learn grammar in context. Learn them through examples and practice. Understand how sentences are formed and why certain structures are used in sentences. That is what is important to you, not to cram the rules. If you cram the rules without knowing how to use them, it is useless. It becomes useless. So always try to practice. Always try to learn grammar in the process of examples. Learn grammar with examples or learn grammar through examples and practice, and you will see how your English will improve thoroughly. And another tip that I have for you is set realistic goals. Yes, set realistic goals. You need to set a goal. Without a goal, you're not going to achieve what you want. And don't just set the goals because you want to set the goals. They should be realistic. They should be goals that you practice all the time, that you achieve, not just setting them because you want to set. Now you have to break down your learning. You have to break down your learning into manageable chunks. For example, aim to learn a certain number of new words every day, each day or each week. Put it in your program that, okay, this week I'm going to learn, or this day, each day I'm going to learn 5 new vocabularies. That should be your goal. Or 10 new vocabularies, or 20 new vocabularies. It's up to you at your level and your determination. But let's begin with about 5 or 2. So if you set your goal that each day I must learn 10 or 2 new vocabulary, practice speaking for 10 minutes. I'll learn 10 new vocabularies and I'll practice speaking for 10 minutes or for 5 minutes every day. Have your journal or have your calendar. In your calendar each day, when you are done with that particular goal, you go and you check in your calendar. You realize that that makes it very easy. You know, learning is determination. You need to be determined. You need to be motivated. So setting your realistic goals will give you the room to be able to learn and to improve your English appropriately or significantly or efficiently. And another tip that I have for you is be patient. Yes, be patient and persistent. Patience and persistence is very, very important when you are learning a language. Don't be discouraged. You don't have to be discouraged. Be patient. It takes time. It's a long process. It takes time, but make sure you are persistent. Learning a language takes time. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Stay motivated by enjoying the learning process. Because if you start getting bored, you realize that you will stop learning. If you start getting bored, you realize that your patience will evaporate and you will stop. Immediately you stop, everything has stopped. Then your goal will not be achieved. So what you need to do is be patient and persistent. Keep on learning. Celebrate your progress, no matter how slow it may be, no matter how small it may be. Celebrate your progress and stay motivated. Stay on track until your goal is being achieved. That is what you need. And be positive. Yes, be positive. You must be positive. Think positively. Don't allow negativity. Don't allow anything that is going to make you regret. Don't allow anything that will be negative. No, close your ears on negativity. People who say my English is very good, they are correct. And people who say my English is getting better every day, they are also correct. What you think is what you are. Practice saying the second sentence every day. Practice saying your English is getting better every day. Don't practice saying your English is not good because that brings in discouragement. But if you say my English is getting better every day, that encourages you, that motivates you. It motivates you, and when it motivates you, the more fun you have with English, the easier it will be to learn. So enjoy learning English. It's very easy. English is fun. English is fun. When you are motivated, you realize that learning English becomes very, very easy. So, English is great and English is fun. English is great and English is fun. So, I have given you about 10 or 11 tips. By incorporating these tips into your routine, you build a solid foundation in English and gradually you improve your language skills over time. Now, here's the key to success: consistency and practice. Remember, progress takes time, but with your dedication and practice, or with your dedication and effort, you can achieve your English learning goal. Stay motivated and keep practicing, and you'll see your improvement in a very short while. To wrap things up, let's recap what we have covered today. Small and gradually building your language skills is very essential. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, as they are part of the process of learning. Keep practicing, and with time, you're going to see how you improve. I hope you found these tips helpful. If you want to continue to improve your English, make sure to watch more of my videos. Feel free to share some of your experiences, your English learning experiences, or English learning tips in the comment section. Hope to see you some other time. Stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching.